Agentic AI is hitting an inflection point today with 5 major product launches hitting the market on the same day. We're also talking about a massive $2.1 billion raise for AI drug discovery, the first steps towards a futures market for AI compute, and how geopolitics are tightening access to advanced models, and of course, what all of this means for you, the builder. No BS AI briefing brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. First up today, Isomorphic Labs, a Google DeepMind spin-off, just made a colossal move, raising an astonishing $2.1 billion in a Series B round. This wasn't just any funding round, it was led by Thrive Capital with major players like Alphabet, MGX, Temasek, and even the UK's sovereign AI fund participating. I mean, think about that for a second. $2.1 billion for a company focused on AI drug discovery. Their goal is to scale models for protein structure prediction and to design novel therapeutics, building on existing partnerships worth over $3 billion with pharma giants like Eli Lilly, Novartis, and Johnson & Johnson. For builders, especially those eyeing highly regulated industries, this is huge. It confirms that an AI first approach in biotech, from fundamental research to clinical trials and eventual market growth, is not just viable but also incredibly fundable. It sets a powerful precedent for any builder looking to tackle complex regulated sectors like finance, legal, or healthcare with AI solutions. It shows there's a clear path from groundbreaking research to real world, high value applications supported by serious capital. Next, we're seeing a significant wave of agentic AI launches across multiple verticals, all on the same day. Rescale debuted agentic digital engineering, aiming to automate R&D processes and claiming up to a 90% error reduction. Then there's ZeroPath launching Zero, a persistent AI agent designed for application security that lives right inside Slack. Shoplazza introduced Athena to handle e-commerce back-office operations using natural language, making complex tasks simpler for merchants. Nokia is adding agentic AI to its network platforms for autonomous diagnostics, which is massive for infrastructure reliability. And finally, Group IB unveiled Previn AI for predictive cyber defense. Look, this isn't just one company doing a pilot, it's a flurry of domain specific launches hitting simultaneously. What this tells us as builders is that AI agents are rapidly becoming production ready tools. They're no longer just research projects or experimental prototypes. This implies that within months, agentic capabilities could become table stakes in many verticals. Are you ready for that shift? Also, in a move that signals the growing maturity of the AI ecosystem, the CME Group and Silicon Data are planning to launch a futures market for AI compute. This isn't a small thing. They're proposing standardized contracts that would allow builders, companies, and investors to hedge against fluctuations in compute supply and demand. It's currently pending regulatory review, but if it goes through, it's a game changer. Why? Because it's the very first significant step to financialize AI compute itself. For us, the builders, this means the potential for a whole new level of certainty. Imagine being able to hedge your compute costs, plan your capacity for model training or inference with much more predictability. It could fundamentally alter how you budget, how you scale, and how you even think about your overall infrastructure strategy. It takes some of the biggest unknowns out of the equation. Now, for a piece of news that highlights the geopolitical complexities of AI, China was denied access to Anthropic's new Mythos model. A representative from a Chinese think tank had their access request declined in Singapore, and US officials are framing this within a broader context of efforts to prevent advanced American AI from falling into unauthorized hands. Officials even cited a perceived 9-12 month US lead with the latest models. This is a clear, tangible signal for builders. Expect tighter export controls and much greater scrutiny on model access based on geography. If you're building products with global distribution in mind, especially those leveraging cutting edge models, you absolutely need to factor this kind of policy and compliance into your strategic planning. It's not just about what you build, but where and to whom you can deploy it. The geopolitical lines are drawing themselves, and they're impacting the tech stack. And finally, CyberCom, the US Cyber Command, is seeking a staggering 2,660% increase in AI funding for the next fiscal year. Their FY27 request is for $138 million specifically for AI for cyber operations, which is up from a mere $5 million in FY26. While later years project some declines, that initial surge is just wild, right? It's an undeniable strong demand signal for AI driven cybersecurity solutions. For builders, this means two things. First, prepare for an increasingly AI fortified cybersecurity landscape, which will impact compliance and security requirements for your products. Second, if you're in the cybersecurity space or thinking about entering it, this opens up significant potential for government contract opportunities. The public sector is clearly all in on AI for defense, and that creates a massive market. If you're finding this useful, hit follow in your podcast app right now. It takes 2 seconds, and it's the best way to make sure you don't miss the next briefing. Let's dive deeper into what I think is the most significant story from today's news: the Agentic AI inflection point, marked by those five distinct launches we saw on a single day. What happened in plain English is that companies like Rescale, ZeroPath, Shoplazza, Nokia, and Group IB all simultaneously rolled out products that leverage autonomous AI agents. These aren't just chatbots, these are systems designed to perceive, plan, act, and course correct on their own within specific domains, whether that's automating R&D, securing applications in Slack, managing e-commerce back offices, diagnosing network issues, or performing predictive cyber defense. Why does this matter right now? It signals a crucial shift in the AI landscape. For too long, agents have been more of a research curiosity or a futuristic concept. Now, they're moving into the realm of practical, production ready tools. This simultaneous wave suggests a maturation of the underlying technology, making it accessible and robust enough for commercial deployment across diverse workflows. It implies that the barriers to building and deploying effective agents have come down significantly, and the market is now flooded with new domain specific options. This isn't just a trend, it's an inflection. Who should care about this? Honestly, everyone building products today. Founders need to understand that this is rapidly becoming a new competitive frontier. If your competitors are adopting agentic workflows, you can't afford to be left behind. Product managers should be actively exploring how agentic capabilities can automate tasks within their product, enhance user experience, or unlock entirely new features. Engineering leaders need to start evaluating agentic frameworks, orchestration layers, and monitoring tools to prepare their teams for this paradigm shift. And indie hackers, this is a massive opportunity to build niche, highly automated solutions for specific problems that might have been too complex or costly to automate just 6 months ago. The playing field is shifting under our feet. How I think about this as a builder is to draw an analogy to the early days of cloud computing or even mobile apps. Initially, these were novelties. Then, suddenly, everyone was building for them. And if you weren't, you were missing out. Agentic AI feels like that. It's not just a feature you can add, it's a new way to design and deliver value. My mental model is this: identify repetitive, high cognitive load tasks within your business or your user's workflow. Those are now prime candidates for agentification. The challenge isn't just building the agent, but designing the interaction, the supervision, and the guardrails. We're moving from prompt engineering to agent orchestration. It's a whole new skill set that's becoming critical. Ignore it at your peril, but also approach it with a keen eye for practical application. My no BS take on this is simple. While the claims of up to 90% error reduction might be context dependent and some launches are still in early stages or beta, the sheer volume and diversity of these agentic releases confirm one thing: this is real, and it's happening now. The hype cycle for agents has been long, but we're finally seeing concrete products emerge. Builders need to be aware of the material compute costs associated with running these agents, as indicated by the CME news, and also factor in the complexities of integration and potential liability issues. But don't let those stop you from exploring. This is a fundamental shift in how software will operate, and you need to be experimenting with it today. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is: audit agent opportunities within your own domain. Here's how to try it in under 60 minutes. First, map one repetitive, high stakes workflow in your team or within your product. Think about something like a security triage process, customer support routing, or even an internal order processing workflow. Second, outline all the decisions, edge cases, and human interventions currently involved in that workflow. Break it down step by step. Third, assess how today's newly launched tools like ZeroPath for application security, Shoplazza's Athena for e-commerce, or even something custom you might build could fit into that workflow. Could an agent handle the initial classification? Could it pull data from multiple sources? Could it draft a response for human review? This specific experiment is worth your time right now because these agentic tools are no longer theoretical. The market is validating them, and your competitors are likely exploring them. By mapping a high stakes workflow, you're not just dabbling, you're targeting a core business process where even a small improvement from an agent could yield a significant ROI, whether it's reducing errors, saving time, or freeing up human capacity for more complex tasks. This exercise provides a concrete starting point to evaluate if and how agents can meaningfully impact your product or operations, moving you past the hype and into real world application. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.